Good evening, or morning, or afternoon. I've oiled my chain so it's nice and quiet today. Alright, so just over an hour or so, I think I'll go for on Zwift tonight here. There are a lot of people in town, 1661 riders on board. It's not just a casual ride. I'm not doing a Lama lab test, I'm just cruising. Oh, an event's just started. That must be the TT. That's cool, they're just rolling out now. I think that's the 51k time trial, is it? Or the 50... If I can get the right camera angle, I'll be able to... Oh, they're long gone now. 55.1 kilometer time trial. I think that's what that was about. Good, it's morning everyone. The UK, I've hit UK time zone, have I? Hang on, 5:30 PM here. Must be mid-morning over there. Even Italy, awesome. Alrighty, let me get all my beeping things sorted out. I've got the giant power meter back on the bike. There's been a few firmware updates, so I've thrown that one back into the mix. Too many beeping items. Let me just see. 8:30 AM. Oh, we're on daylight saving. Oh, see, we're off daylight savings now. If you guys are on it, it'll be the time zones are all skewed. Okay, so for Vero Asiomas, giant power meter, and the Tax Neo. They don't stop beeping. 1, 2. I need more fingers. 3. Okay, we're good. 10-minute warm up, and then I'm going to stop and reset those, or re-zero them, because I've just switched over pedals. Good morning, Burned. In private chat there, that's not private when I'm live streaming. Why didn't I oil my chain a long time ago? That is just... Even I can't hear that. Ah, happy days. Nothing like a newly oiled chain. Alrighty. So no plans for this ride, just cramming in whatever I can. I was out corner marshalling this morning, came home, fell asleep. I had a late one the other night. It was 3:30 AM, waiting for the IQ squared news to drop. I knew something was coming, so I was waiting, and then I jumped on that pretty quick. Got a video out. If the music's too high or too low, please let me know. I'm not listening to the music, it's just playing through the live stream. So it's not just dead silent when I'm not talking. Veronica Mičić says right on. Awesome. Good support there from the wife. Rightio, let's have a look at what's going on. Dashboards, Zwifters, messages. Let's go back to more events. What have we got? 5:33 PM here. Is the switch to the IQ squared? The IQ squared have gone from their plugs over to a proposed power meter pedal solution. Wouldn't have worked anyway, would it? Well, we don't know. A lot of 2.8 million euros of value that people put in the bucket said it did. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. We've got information now to say it wouldn't have worked. So yeah, we can say now, of course it wouldn't have worked, but who knows? Can't hear you, music too loud, joking. Okay, I'll leave it as is for now. If you do need me to put it down there, let me know if it's too boring. It's open source / copyright free music. However, I keep getting pinged for little companies claiming the music, and I'm not going to challenge that, because you challenge that and you get a strike against it, it sends you into YouTube hell. So anyhow, these are just content. July, good morning. I lost my train of thought there because of the music thing. Yeah, it's just one of those things. You wake up every morning with another copyright notification. They're not claims or they're claims. They're not strikes against the channel, but some automated bot says that someone owns the music and all that. I'm like, fuck it, you can have it. Swear jar. it's just interesting. Okay, Danish Weekly Social Ride, 5:55. Let's get into that one. Just show you how I do that with the phone here. So I've got the phone. This is mid-ride, so I've switched over to more events, so I can join an event mid-ride, even if I haven't signed up already. Thank you, Vaughn. Music is low. All good. I just want something playing in the background. But that chain, I would have ridden this all day had I have known this chain is going to be this quiet. I'm stoked with that. You can hardly hear it. Garmin or Wahoo head unit. It's entirely your call. That's my response to everything in the last 48 hours. People want my advice. I'm getting less and less likely to tell people what to buy themselves. It's just not appropriate for me to tell you what to buy. I need to interview you about your requirements. Best I can do is full overview of my experience, and you can either choose from there or choose none at all. I don't sell the stuff. I've got no incentive to tell you what to buy. I'll share my experience and you can go from there. So whatever's important, hopefully I've covered in any of the videos. What's my take on Ray's criticism of the Roam? Yeah, I agree. Have a listen to the Fitfile podcast that went out yesterday. We discussed this a little further. I've probably soft gloved the Roam a little bit more than Ray because I still think it's 4 weeks out from being ready. So we'll give them 4 weeks. If they implement if they do the routing stuff that they say they're going to do, if the radar support's there, if all those things come in, it's going to bring the value of the device up. And the hard part with me in video, if I slay the shit out of something and say it's freaking useless, don't buy it, it's crap, what a sack of shit, then they update the firmware in a couple of weeks, I can't go back and edit that video. Yet, first impressions count. The written word on a blog or a website is much easier to go back and change. This has been updated as of this date. So, when the features do come out, I'll do round 2. I'll do round 3. Because I'll be tinkering around, checking them all out, spending weeks and weeks diving into what works and what doesn't. So, and look, the community decides. My opinions aside, the community decides. My base ground for that is the Favero Asioma pedals. I got them and went, Favero, really, who? Put them on thinking this is a bit of a no-name brand that no one knows. Those things work so goddamn well. But forget about what I'm saying about them. Read the comments. Talk to anybody who's got a pair. That's the important. So crowdsource. If you're looking for an opinion, crowdsource an opinion. Don't go to one person. I'm talking about my opinion on things. That's why people ask me, like, what's my height? Because they're looking at getting the same size bike as me. But I'm different here, and here, and here, and here. It's just, yeah. Look, I think it's pretty easy who to spot reviews to read through though. So choose your reviewers, but never put them above your own opinion and own requirements. Even mine. If the Roam doesn't do what you want to do, awesome, cool. You don't need to have the same opinion as me. That's all good. Have the Asiomas give me a headache when clipping in issues. They do require a little bit of a sideways clip in. I've used them for a year now, I think. So I'm totally used to that. Have I ever tried a Peloton workout? No, but they've tried to give me a workout with their lawyers so they can go stick it. No, I haven't tried a Peloton workout. I still think their service offering is pretty cool. Anyway, off topic. Let me... sorry, not you off topic. I'm ranting off topic. Let me join the Danish social ride. Starting soon. Not yet. Okay, 15 minutes. Give me 10 minutes. We'll do a bit of a warm-up. We'll stomp on these pedals. I always find... This is one thing I can talk about with people who are looking for the IQ² power plug as a power meter solution. Swapping power meter pedals over, the physical task of it is easy, but they really do require a bedding in. The thread on your crank and the thread on the pedal, you can tighten them all up, but it takes probably a ride or the first 10 minutes of a ride and a hard sprint to really make sure they're bedded in properly. And that depends on your crank and depends on how tight you do them and your riding. But if people are looking at buying the IQ² plug to swap between road bike and mountain bike maybe once or twice a week, I don't think that would have given good numbers after a while. Things wear out and wear down. But we'll never know because they're now pedals. So it has been a week of triggering on the internet for people. The Roam, a lot of people weren't happy. Some people were. IQ², some people weren't happy. Some people also weren't happy. But we've got to find something to be passionate about. But look, there's a lot bigger shit going on. Did anybody see the SpaceX launch again? That blows me away. What SpaceX are doing. Ah, pushy? Not yet. I'm still riding. The fact that SpaceX can re-land their booster rockets. Unbelievable. SRAM Force Access is out too. Yeah, I had a chance to ride that over at Sea Otter. Really grippy on the brakes. 160 rotors on the front. I think we had 32mm tyres on the giant Revolt. Alright, ready, the 1666 million drops coming up right now. If anybody has the companion app, feel free to jump on and give me a ride on. You'll see it pop up there on the screen. Probably 15 seconds delayed, I think. Actually, you'll probably see because the time above is 142, 142. That's interesting. My phone isn't. There we go. It's a few seconds out. Okay. 12 minutes already. Okay, let's throw a few stomps into these pedals. We have the data recording. I can't even remember which head unit I paired to which thing. I've got 3 power sources at the moment. Okay, I'm just going to stomp these pedals. Get this desk out of the way a little bit. How pushy is that? Give me a break. Not yet. Jeez. I'm not going to miss the start. I'm good. Outside I do a few bunny hops, a few standing starts and jumping on pedals. Both ways. No bunny hops in town. Oh, sorry, in this virtual town. Well, Shimano's 100-year anniversary is coming up next year. I think it's 100 years for Shimano. They're going to be doing something for that. All right, another slow ramping start to make sure these pedals are good and to see if the knee is going to hold the bike. It should. Stomp. Okay, on the screen there we do have, oh, not that one there. So my event is in 11 minutes. I'm not going to miss the start. But I want to record this too. When you jump in the event pen, nothing's recorded until the event starts. Again! Check that out for the hassle. What a hustler. Now I know people might miss the start, but it's almost every minute. Come on, back it off. Should get old Maven riding more, yeah. No, Maven's still around. He's still posting up stuff on Instagram. Check out Maven's Insta. Stomp. Alright. I'm not sure where the event is. Where is it? I'm not sure what course it's on. Hopefully it's an easy one. Okay. Smash out some ride-ons there. All right, 15 minutes, 13. Oh, it'll be unlucky for me to zero the pedals at 13 minutes. Watopia flat, rock and roll. Baby Lama since there's a baby Maven. Nah, I don't think making babies works like that. Let me know if there's a channel to subscribe to that makes baby. No, that doesn't make baby. No, that's all bad. Let's not go down that route. The internet's too much. Got that covered. There's enough how-to videos on that on the internet. That's pretty much what I was trying to say. All right. He's back. The hustler. Zwift companion app. Get off my booty. Not yet, damn it. Wow. What was that? Let's put a timer on that. Was it every 2 minutes? It was a... Is there a setting for that? Notifications, connections, profile, privacy, device connection. Where's the hassle? I want to turn the... Can we toggle the hassle off? The hassle off. That's notifications. No. Oh, I appreciate anybody who just started following me too. No, there doesn't appear to be a setting. I'm not going to dive too hard into it. Oh, bam! Check that one out for a thumbs up. Bingo. There's our dinosaur friend. All right, 15 minutes on the data set. We've got 8 minutes to the start of the social ride. Because social rides are so good to test power meters with. But it's going to be just a sim mode ride, not an erg mode. All right. So 0 offset, same as if you've seen this before. Spin the cranks backwards a couple of times. Unload them entirely. 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock. We're down under, so that was actually correct. The Neo doesn't need zeroing because the Neo is the Neo. We have... Oh! Come back to me. Come back to me, focus. You can do it. Sorry. That has really shut the bed, hasn't it? Come on, camera. Okay, let me get the important stuff first. I'll be back in focus in just a moment when I fix this up. That's hilarious, isn't it? Sorry. Calibrate. Oh, come on, is it gonna... There we go. That should be 0 on the giant power meter. Being censored. That's exactly what it was. Okay, 0 offset done. Some power meters come back with a number, some come back with 0, some come back with failed. The giant and the aciomas come back with 0. Some will also give you a torque reading in real time, which is cool, which can be used to calibrate things. Aciomas, come back to me. There we go. 0. We're good. Cool. Done. I'm not quite sure how well that'll go, being that I'm still indoors. Outdoors is... You give the bike a lot of hell outside. Okay, lap. We're done. 6 minutes to the event. Cool. Focus. We're back. Oh, and the hassle's up again, was it? It must be, it looks to be every 2 minutes. The hassler. Throw your questions in. This isn't a stressful ride today, so happy to answer any questions. I do have the Roam next to me. If you have any Roam questions, I have the Roam. DO2 question, how come one sprocket doesn't have a smooth transition? It takes time to shift it, or others work fine. Sebastian, I'm not sure. You're having gear change issues. Which sprocket? Is it the 10? Oh, sorry, the 11 on Shimano? Is it high up? Is it down? Or is it in the middle section? Troy Collett, Shimano RS500 crank with the stages or 4-eye crank fit. I think... Well, I know the 105, the Ultegra and the Durace cranks from Shimano are all pretty much interchangeable, the last few editions. I'm not sure off the top of my head. I'm not familiar with the RS500. The 530 looks sweet, absolutely. I have the 830 on back order because they're not available here yet. In the middle section, don't know. If you're tuning it, hang on, let me make sure. Don't restart now with the computer. 4 minutes, we're good. I've just got 2 computers here and one wants to restart. Restart tonight, pick a time. 6 p.m. today, yeah, how about tomorrow? Thanks, Windows. See you later. If you're doing your shifting tuning yourself, try the tuning in the big ring and then tune the back, and then try it in the small ring and tune the back and see if there's any differences. You may find it's just off by like I was going to say a bee's dick, but I'm not sure if I'm even allowed to say that, but a small amount. The Tax Genius, no, haven't tried the Tax Genius, sorry. Morning, Chris Bayless, how you doing? All right, it's almost time for us to join the event to keep this little hustle app happy. Somebody did ask, are the beeps on the Roam louder than the Bolt? Now the app's hassling. Like, let's just do it. So the question was the Roam loud. I haven't done any tests. Holy, I have some friends. Awesome. I haven't done any testing. I can hear this thing beeping out on the road. I didn't do any testing in round 2 and I cover this. So when there's the next firmware update out for this that's good enough to cover enough features to talk about, I'll do a few of the questions people have asked about it. So if you want a quick test, I'll turn one on. I'll try and hold them in the same spot. Is it starting? It's starting. Riveting watching there. Is it going to beep? It's updating. That's a new firmware. Sorry. It didn't beep. Okay, so if I turn this one on then, because when you turn them off it beeps, so we'll see if that's got a noise. What have we got? 2 minutes to go for this one. I don't think the Wahoo will release a Bolt 2 anytime soon. No way. Because all that's going to do is turn people away from this into a different version of that. It'll be, I'd say, at least a year. Have to be at least a year between head units. Okay, there's some talky stuff going on here. No, don't start the ride. Okay, so they're both powered on. So the off sound and the off sound. From here, same. It's so hard to do sound testing because even those variables there, my hand was in a different position, the microphone, it might have been a little bit off. But from there by ear, same. I'll do it in a quiet environment later on. Well, round 2, when I do some more features of those things. Issues with the Neo FreeHub notching, as in grabbing, as in the poles catching or throwing your chain over? No. I do service this every 12 months. No issues there. The Conti 5000 tubeless tyres, I'm still running one because the front one got the slash. I do have the clinchers to ride, but I haven't installed the clinchers yet. The rear one's going great and they're fine. Tubeless tyres brand new, without punctures, are great. Roll well, grip well, no probs. As soon as you have a problem, you got problems. No update on Von's new bike hunt, sorry. No update yet. She hasn't found anything. Alright, do they still allow me to keep this bike in this ride? I hope so. What have we got? So, first time I've joined this ride, I'm not quite sure of the pace. Hopefully it's a cruise. We'll see. I've seen the Peloton posts, that's it. There's no product yet though, so that's... Oh, I do have Neo Road Fuel on too. I can feel the boards. Yeah, so when Peloton comes out and there's a product, we can have a quick look at that and see what it's about. But look, it's going to take something special. Now, this isn't Peloton, it's everyone else. It's going to take a lot of work to get anywhere near Zwift. It really is. And yeah, I'm biased because I'm a Zwift fanboy. Look, I'm in the free jersey. But if someone can come out and kick the ball through the goals, there's a market for it, for sure. But it's 2019, there's a lot of other competitors out there who are stagnated. So someone's going to have to come up with something special. And Zwift themselves will have to come up with something special. When do we think we'll see the Tax Neo bike? Maybe Eurobike again? No idea. The shipping date was April, was it? So I think 2 years ago was the year of the smart bike, last year was the year of the smart bike, this year's the year of the smart bike. Maybe next year is the actual year of the smart bike. Don't know what's going on. Got a creek. What have we got? Oh, this is just an hour, so I was looking for the kilometer count, it's just an hour. Cool. Andrew Nicholson asks, do we ever think Zwift will add steering and braking to the game? How would they implement it? I think they have to at some point. Have I been presented with a steering option just there on screen, the manual one? For a group ride, that's weird. Zwift had steering before it was Zwift. If you look at John Mayfield, lead game designer, his YouTube channel, you'll see him steering around on his prototype. It's always been there. Getting it into people's hands is the tough part. The easiest part, phone accelerometers on the handlebars. Everyone has a phone with accelerometers. Now I'm not going to chase anyone down here, I'll just try and keep the group together. There is hardware to steer, but unless Zwift make it themselves, don't know. Ooh, we have a fire emergency. No, we're good. A few blocks away. Braking. Braking's a hard one. Braking's already there. When you do 0 watts, your bike brakes. Which is why if you ever coast in Zwift, you'll be thrown straight backwards. So braking, it'll be a hard one to put because braking's all about feel. You know, and your braking changes based on road surface feel, that feedback that you have in real life. Whoa, it'd be too hard to do that virtually, I think. Now, where am I? There's no position in this bunch, so I'll just stick with these guys here on my shopping bike. But the steering one would allow for, and I talk about this a lot, would be a total game changer for positioning in the bunch, teamwork, team time trials, wind, because as soon as you have steering, you can implement crosswinds, punish those who sit in the wind, and I got a creek on this thing. You could stick it in the gutter, so right here up this hill, given it's a closed road, actually there's riders coming along the other way, I could attack up this hill, but in the gutter I could just jump on that side in the grass there, throw down some watts, and catch people out, whereas at the moment if I was to attack, I ride straight through people, and they see it coming. And let's just say the wind is coming from the left there, I could stick it in the right gutter, and the people behind me get less of a draft. Or if I had 2 or 3 teammates, or friendly wheels, you sit out just a couple of wheels out and give them the protection, you could do a lot. And when you want to swing off rather than just soft pedal, you could actually swing off. There'd be just a ton of things to do with that for sure. Implementation could also be done via DI2 buttons. I've got 2 buttons on the top of my hoods here that I use for, well, I can change gears with them indoors. Like that. Let's say Zwift paired to the Ant Plus D-Fly adapter, reprogram things to steer. Just a little bit, one way or a little bit the other. Yeah. Not using my old bike on the trainer? Hell no! I spent a lot of money on my new bike. I'm going to ride my new bike. I don't want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars and then thousands more on upgrades and have it sit up against the wall. Hell no. Cobbles. Right, they're coming through on the Neo. Veronica's in the live chat. Good afternoon, Veronica. By the way, Veronica, you didn't realize there was a live chat or top chat. It was default to top chat. Okay, I'm not sure I can change that for everyone else. I can change it for myself. Enable live chat, block spam messages, done. There's also a donate button, Von, if you want to buy me lunch tomorrow. There's a donate button right down there. Veronica's my wife, everyone. I'm not begging people for money. Jeremy says his mate is using an Edge 305 and 705. They still work like new after all these years. There's no shame in that. Absolutely not. Whatever works. And if it still works after all these years with the battery, awesome. What's my FTP? I have no idea. I have not tested it for a long time, and I'm okay with that. Von will buy me coffee anytime. Thanks, Von. Neo 2 versus Neo 1, any verdict? Yeah, Von's got my Neo 2, so I'm on the Neo 1. The Neo, as you see there, it's a little icon that I use down the bottom there. Actually, that's the Neo 2. Sorry, it's got the blue pants on. I'm on the Neo 1 at the moment. It's a known good source of power for me to compare things, which I'm doing at the moment with a few power meters. Nathan still takes his 705 to the TDU as a backup. We got rid of our 705s a long time ago. Von Neo 2 for the win. Now there's the ride leader back there. Should I be dropping back? The ride leader. I think I will. Hang on, let me just see where I am in here. I don't want to join a social ride and cause problems. Might be a bit too far off the front. I'm just going to chill for the to go back to the beacon. And by chill, I mean really chill, by dropping an aero power boost. What's the hottest temp I've ridden in? Probably over where Troy's from in Adelaide there. Probably, what, 44, Troy? 45 degrees? Not for a long time, but some of those summer days get pretty brutal. Am I doing the right thing? Am I dropping back for the... Yeah, I am. Okay, I'm looking at the top map there. Cool. Favorite climb in Vic versus most disliked climb in Vic. Most disliked? Well, a climb that I respect, what I most dislike though, is Bor. And you know why. That's what, 13% for 6Ks after 90Ks of racing or so. That's just brutal. That's full zombie mode going to the top there. If you do it fresh, it's okay. It's a good interval, 30 minutes. But racing that was just brutal. So that's my most disliked climb. Mount Arapiles, I like Mount Arapiles. I had the comment until Marco took it from me. Mark O'Brien. Only because like it's a nice climb, but it's just so rough. It is so rough. Favorite climb? Oh, look, I mean, the 1 in 20's got to be up there, because that's just such the baseline of you have made it as an A grader if you get under 16 minutes or under 15 or whatever it was back in the day. That's pretty cool. It's pretty busy for traffic. Hotham is epic. Buffalo used to be our FTP tester. I don't know. But worldwide, it has to be the Stelvio. Von Donnebuang. Or Buffalo. Now, I don't like Falls Creek, Troy. Falls Creek's too far away. It takes too long to get there from wherever you usually ride from. And I haven't done it enough to know it. I usually like a climb a lot better if I know it. If I know every little section, like Buffalo or Hotham. Here we go. Here's the bunch I should be with. Sorry, guys. G'day from halfway up the Zwift. It's like Ballarat weather. Today was okay. If you saw my picture on Insta. Here we go. Here's the bunch. It's going to get cold, so my corner duty for Eureka cycling wasn't a pretty good day. Buller. I've ridden Buller a couple of times, raced it twice, I think. I think Buller was one of the very first Masters races they ever held from Cycling Victoria. Actually, the very first one was here in Ballarat. Probably 2011 or 12. But Buller was up there. We came through before the stage of the Heralds on Tour as a support race, which was pretty cool. But Stelvio in real life, if anybody wants to bucket list ride Stelvio both sides, oh man, just phenomenal. What do I eat on the bike? The same as off the bike. Cliff bars all day long, if I've got them. I like Cliff bars. Or fruitcake. I just scoffed a whole bowl of Nutrigrain before I jumped on now. It was only a lighter lunch, so needed something to keep me occupied. Yeah, vets have been around for years, so veterans racing, which was 35 and above years old. Then vets dropped to 30. I think vets dropped to 30. Or did I turn 35? One or the other. Vets might have dropped women to 30 and kept men at 35. Always controversy around Masters. I think that 30 is too young to be racing age groups, but for me, I always supported it all the way through. You've got under 14s, under 13s, juniors, under 17s, 19s, under 23s. The elite age gap is, or the age group is 7 years, I think 23 through to 29.999. So it just makes sense. But I think it cause a bit of a stir if I go race with vets, Eureka vets. They've told me I can go back to Division 2 or B grade for Masters, because I haven't raced for over a year. That was so welcoming today. It was really good to go out there and catch up with everyone. So I might go out there and no pressure on. Just sit on some wheels in Division 2 and see how the legs go. Then we'll go from there. Give me something to aim for. I need a reason to turn pedals over. And for the last while it's been to collect data. But we'll see if we can go out there and have some fun on the bike. Mitchell Thomas recommend any training programs to improve your FTP. Euroso out from a car crash. Hello from Wales. Okay. That's the golden question. How to improve FTP? Everyone's different. Everyone is different. Pick something that you like. Time trials, crits, sprints, over and unders. Pick an interval session that you like. And then Do those until you stop improving. Switch to something else, mix it up. If you're not a sprinter, maybe try some sprints. If you're not a time trialer, maybe try some time trials. Just dabble around. As Sean said just then, FTP tests. FTP tests are a good way to improve your FTP, because even when you fail them, it's still brilliant training at the zones that really push you above where you might plateau. Because to estimate your FTP, you got to ride over it. And to boost your FTP, riding over it is typically a good thing. Any interest in going to the Taiwan Com? Absolutely. I have interest in going anywhere. As for doing it though, yeah, if that opportunity arises, I'll grab it for sure. Lama live in a time that works for Europe, no worries. Yeah, usually I spin these up in the middle of the day here. It's far from the middle of the day now. I'd like to know where that squeak is coming from. Feel free for any questions about any of the videos I've done this week or this year. Nice bike, Shane. I'm on, where is it? There, my shopping bike. It's a head turner. If you jump on zwiftcoach.com, I've got a few workouts up there that will help with your FTP. I think there's one called 25-minute something or other. Let me find it. But I think it's 5-minute warm-up, 30 on, 30 off, 5-minute cool down, 15 minutes of hard work. Do 2 of those back to back and you'll know about it. Mateo from Poland, good morning. So I oiled my chain, now I've got to squeak somewhere else. Does that happen to anyone else? You fix one thing and something else pops up? Mark asks about the Pioneer power meter. Have I been using it for any rides? Yes. Pioneer. Outdoors, brilliant. Data is good. Outdoors. The head unit is very scientific. There's a ton of information on the head. I don't have it within reach. There's a ton of information on the head unit, probably a bit too much. The head unit would be better indoors because you can stop and see it, it won't rattle around. So it's just really small fonts. Indoors though, I'm encountering the standard Shimano reads low on the right indoors for me. So I have a number of companies looking into that for me, because every single Shimano right crank that I have with a strain gauge on it reads low indoors for my pedal stroke. Turn the music up so you can't hear the squeaks. Yeah, that's the answer. Yeah, so Pioneer Outdoors was great, so no worries. I need more data points for indoors on Shimano cranks though. But I do have the Shimano crank on from Giant, the Power Pro. It's a bit of a, I was going to say a farting unicorn, but that doesn't make much sense. It's a bit of a rare unicorn of a power meter for details on. There's no technical website for the Giant power meter. You don't know when there's a new firmware update out. You don't know what the changelog is. There's no real, there's tech specs up on the web, but they list vibration, they list temperature and all that. It's just a little bit left field. But looking more into the Giant one, I'll look at the data after today's ride. We'll do another Lama lab test. Yeah, things looking pretty good at the moment. But this is sim mode. Why not waxing my chain? I don't have time, is the answer. I don't have time to break a chain in outside, because every time you wax the chain for the first couple of, the first 30 minutes, 40 minutes, it spits flakes everywhere. It completely covered the Lama Lab in wax. So you've got to do that outside. Then you've got to have 2 chains to swap one on, swap one off, and boil it. It's not my thing. I totally cool if other people want to wax their chains for cross mountain bike, for their road rides, all good. But for me, I oil my chain or clean my chain every 6 to 8 weeks, maybe. I ride in pretty good conditions. Just not my thing. Nathan, no news on the Tax Smart bike, sorry. They've gone very quiet. They have gone quiet on the Tax Smart bike. It was due last year, and then last month. I don't know. It's interesting, I think, and I'm contributing to this. I'll admit that. People want access to information so quick. People want products straight away, and they want them to work. So I think companies maybe should just tighten things up a bit. Maybe not announce anything until they've got something they can deliver on. Because we've seen with the Roam, it's been announced, but the features are sort of, a lot of it's still coming soon. IQ squared. I mean, look at what happened with that. They've redesigned their entire product. I'm still off the front, aren't I? I'll just drop it back a bit more. Converted to wax after the zero friction video. Yeah, look, there's data behind it. Yep, no question about that. Data backs it up. But for me, the chain that I had, the pre-wax chain that I had, was noisier. Then started getting squeaky after about 200, 300 Ks. And then I had to go buy a pressure cooker to cook the chain, to put the like, when it gets to that point, there's only a certain amount of cycles in the day that I have. And it's not for me. All right, waiting for the beacon. The Magene Ridge is sold out everywhere on the interwebs. Ping Magene Direct. They'd usually be pretty good on support. They have a dual. Magene have a dual left-right now, which is meant to be heading my way. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Which is the best chain brand? Cyclefax. Hey, well, Cyclefax, the name like Cyclefax. You tell us, which one? Which one's the best one for you? Give us the facts. I use Shimano. They seem to work alright. Ultegra, Durace, whatever's on sale. KMC seems to work. Haven't had any major chain dramas. So I have no preference either way, as long as it works. But Cyclefax, what's your chain of choice? Let us know. As I chill here for the beacon to come back. Any chain with the master link? Boom, there we go. That's the answer right there. KMC, okay. World is changing with 12 speed. Just what we need, another 12 speed conversion from, I've still got 10 speed stuff here, then 11, 12. Pixelitis, thanks for dropping by. Is it okay to stand up during FTP tests? Absolutely. You can stand on your head, you can sing happy birthday, you can do whatever the hell you like during an FTP test, because it's all about turning the pedals. Typically the most efficient way to turn the pedals would be on your bike, sitting down, like really ripping it out. You're only going to be able to stand for, well, at the end, if you're using an FTP test to stand at the end, you're only going to have 15 seconds to 30 seconds to dump anyway before you just collapse. And if you do it mid FTP test, you're going to fatigue probably a little bit too quick anyway. So go for your life, absolutely. Rotor has 13 speeds. Because they can. But it's only one up the front, isn't it? Is it the 13 by 1? keep riding off the front of this social ride. I'm a shit for a social rides here. Oh, that cobble effect is ripping through. First name, last name from Ohio, 4 a.m. Good morning. I'm just dropping back here to the ride leader. That oiled chain is beautifully quiet. Are you wasting your time manually calibrating P1s before every ride or manually zero offsetting them? Depends. It depends. Sometimes an auto calibrate or an auto zero will only phase shift it or shift it a little bit, and an actual manual zero will do it to true zero. So the Vector 3s, when you leave them, I think they only fix the offset by a certain percent. I'm not sure what the P1s do, if they do that or do a full one. Really depends. If you're just going for riding on your bike and you're not doing any intervals, don't worry about it, just ride. It's not going to be wildly inaccurate. If you're doing efforts, or you know you're going to be doing efforts where you do want that data, then yeah, zero them. But sometimes we can get too caught up in the data. It says me with 3 Garmin's next to me recording 3 different power meters. Nathan's son's watching on a laptop. Good stuff. While he writes code. What are you writing code in, Nathan? Please tell me you're coding in Zwift while watching Zwift. I used to be able to remember what I started coding in, but it's long gone. I think we started off in Logo, Turbo Pascal, Basic, Visual Basic, Smalltalk. What else? Shell scripting stuff. C. What else have I done? That's about it before I decide I'm not going to make anything or be a programmer. Okay, on the first FTP test, had not had any power settings ever. What FTP setting would you put in Zwift for the first test? Good question, Paul. Do the ramp test. I'd put it in FTP, look Paul, 150. Just assuming you got a base level of fitness. Let's just go 150. 130, I'm at 130 now, just talking along, easy. And then go from there. The step test, really, I guess the question's more about if you're doing the 20-minute test and it has a prescribed warm-up for you, you can blow the cobwebs out and blow your fitness before you even start, if that's set incorrectly. The step test kind of gets rid of all that. Starts off low, takes you high until you fail, and the step test is designed for you to fail. You're meant to fail the step test because that's how it knows how far you got. Favourite ride in Sydney? The train from the airport to the city. It's really good. Costs a bit of money, but it's nice and quick. And there's no dealing with traffic. That's my favourite ride in Sydney. On the bike, Kernel Loop probably. That's the only one I used to do when I was in Sydney for a few weeks. Wasn't up early enough to beat the traffic. New Quarks with integrated chain rings will potentially have superior accuracy as eliminated bolt-based spider rings interface. Yeah, maybe. Superior accuracy as in 0.5% more than everything else, maybe. But there's more, when you start talking about 1 or 2% accuracy, one thing that we saw with the Watt Team power meter is its ability to correctly read power. Not to measure it, to correctly read the pedal stroke and then calculate it. So when they did a static hang test, it could be plus or minus 1, but it was 5, 6, 7% off on the right side for me when it was in motion and at different cadences, depending on where I pushed on the chainring. So power is more than just a, what number am I doing? It's the process of the unit calculating the correct number properly. It's a bloody hard one to solve. The more I learn about these things, the less I want to know. If you want to deep dive into the issues that I'm having with Shimano power meters, jump back to my Watteam G3 Dual power meter review or user experience. And I explain what's happening with the measurements and the torque on the crank over top and down past 9 o'clock and how it wasn't reading correctly, which was confirmed by Watteam based on their strain gauge tech. But something like pedals are symmetrical, both sides. So I never encounter that with pedals at all, ever. I had issues with the Vector 3 originals, but during a static test they proved to be wonky. They have been replaced, they're all good. I haven't tried the CR13N battery in the Vector 3s. I haven't been able to find one, I'll have to order one online. So what that is the Vector 3s currently has two, they're not coin cell batteries because they're not even coins, they're two little LR44s put together and jammed in. The CR13N battery that Ian's talking about is one big long battery, which is probably just the same two batteries taped together. But it should eliminate a little bit of rattle if that's occurring between the two. It shouldn't be there anyway. I've got to say, that's the nice thing about the Asiomas. The battery is built in. Sure, it's going to be end of life, but as soon as these Asiomas are done, I will smile and throw them in the bin, wave them goodbye and buy another pair. No probs. Because there's no stuffing around. They just work. Actually, I probably won't put them in the bin. We'll cut them in half. We'll see what they're made of. S. Miller says, right on. There's some weird inceptions going on right now. All right, 137 people watching the stream. I really appreciate that. Thanks for dropping by. Feel free to throw a comment wherever you can throw comments. Feel free to give me a ride on through the app and you'll see it appear here on the screen. But if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. That's what keeps the channel ticking over. It really does. There's a few different ways to subscribe. You can subscribe and turn the bell on to be notified whenever I go live or whenever I put a video out, which may be inconvenient for everyone else other than Australia if I put a video out in the middle of the day here. But you can subscribe and turn the notifications off. Now that's sort of counterintuitive for what a YouTuber does want. But for me, it's pretty much how I subscribe to channels. I subscribe so I can see them on my list, but because I'm sleeping when everyone else is awake, down under, Australia, I turn the notifications off. So I think my view count is about 70% unsubscribed people. So if I can halve that, or get half of those to subscribe, we'd be rocking. We'd be rocking. Oh, Jason uses those other batteries in the Vector 3s, rock and roll. That's what I love. Right there, there's a data point of other people's experience. Which other channels do I follow? Ray and Des. That's it. Now, I've got quite a few on the list that I go through every day, but there's not enough hours in the day to watch everything. Imagine subscribing to all these YouTube channels and waxing a chain. Oh, it'd be a full-time job. Now I subscribe to a few the trending things and the hashtags and whatever's been categorized properly. Mirko from Italy. Good morning in Italy. How many ride-ons on average do I get while I ride on Zwift? I'm not sure, but you can check this out because you can spy on me. Here we go. And you can do this in your screen. If you go to my profile there, you find out I'm 40 years old and 181 centimeters tall. And only level 35. If you scroll down to activities, if you snoop my profile, or even your own, to make this relevant to people other than me. It's not about me. There we go there. You can see 724, 657. Most of those come in after the ride has finished, because that stays on people's screens. So my warm-up there of 9.47k is only 138. That'll be in people's notification lists. So a few. I am conscious of how many ride-ons that I get and how many notifications will get sent out when I go for a ride. It'd be nice if there was a secret mode. I could just ride undercover and not have all the notifications sent out, because if I'm riding at 2 PM here, it's going to be 2 AM somewhere else. What have we got? Alrighty. Am I due in the UK anytime this year? Not on the cards, but anything's possible. Zip challenge, nope, haven't even started. 55.1k split out on a TT bike. I'd rather do a social ride like this. Mark Smith, second set of Vector 3. Vector 3S reads massively high. Any tips how to correct them? Throw them straight back at Garmin if they're that bad. If what you have isn't what is on the side of the box, then don't put up with it. The way to test that would be a static weight test. Not sure, I've probably done a video on the static weight tests. More on the Quark than the Vector 3s, but everything else is still exactly the same. That way you've got some data to give to Garmin to say, hey, these things aren't reading correct. Again, more data required if you can compare them to something else properly. Who's quicker, me or DC Rainmaker? It's not a competition. Ray on foot by a long shot. Alright, just waiting here for the beacon. I've ridden off again. There's a few smaller groups with this ride. I keep getting stuck in, it's all good. Power numbers looking okay between the power meters. Alrighty. Any runners on course? Let's have a look. Can we zoom in and see any runners on course? Looking pretty bare. Oh, I really took off on the leader. Sorry, leader. I can't do a U-turn, can I? Because that'll probably throw me out of the event. I'll just chill. There we go. There they are in the background there. What, I've got 21 minutes. Oh, good. Yeah, the minimap. Where the minimap needs more work on Zwift is the profile to know what hills are coming up. So I'm in a hill now, but you can't tell the profile up about there. You can't really see. You can see the big hill, but we don't even go up that hill. So it probably just needs a bit of updating, or just zooming in a little closer. There's a lot of UI stuff that I'd hope to be there by now. Even just cleaning the interface up. If you're doing a workout with the rider list, so you got workout, rider list, stats up here, then you go up other thing, it's less than half the screen is you riding the bike. Be nice to clear all that out. Paul Ferguson watching from Brizzy. How's the weather? So you guys copped a bit of rain this week. Alright, come on, ride leader. Must be this Buffalo bike's too fast. Just shoots off the front. Alrighty. 20 minutes to go, rock and roll. Any questions? Fire them through, I do appreciate them. Let me know what bike you're riding, what head unit you use. I've been spying people's head units lately. Well, I always do, but just taking a bit more notice of what people are riding. I saw a Brighton 330 today. on a System 6. iWatch, heart rate any good, or should I go for a Wahoo Ticker Fit armband? iWatch as in Apple? The Apple Watch isn't going to be able to rebroadcast your power, your heart rate. So there's limited options there for the Apple Watch. Something like this, the 935 and the Garmin's usually can rebroadcast. Ticker Fit armband seems to work. There we go, back with the ride leader. The runners are pretty big. Is it really smart for Zwift to expand into running and rowing? Good question. I don't think they've soaked up all the the cycling market yet. There's still a massive market out there of cyclists they could do a lot more for. But they've already built the world. So the trees exist, the roads exist. Adding running, it was a side project of John, as I understand, from him coding it on the weekends. So for them to make it into a product didn't require a lot of resources. So I don't think it took a lot away from the cycling stuff. I don't think. But as we've seen, the market is the market. It decides. The groups decide. And we're seeing here a ride of 90 plus, 112 riders, 120 riders. We're not seeing running groups of 120. Sure, we can say that Zwift cycling has been around for 4 years, but it took 4 years to get to having all these events. Everything is just being provided for the runners. I don't think it's going to happen, sorry. It allows them to be into the tri market, because if you just took a cycling platform and started selling it to tri people, they're like, yeah, cool, cycling, whatevs. That's 1/3 of our stuff done, but if you've got running in there, you're covering 2/3 of what they do. So, squeaky. If that's my bottom bracket, I'm going to lose my Lama. Favorite beer? Are you sitting down, Sean? I don't drink. So, favorite beer, Coke Zero. When will the flies fix drop? Well, good question. Don't know. We've seen the preview of that. Oh, these guys actually... they go for the sprint, do they? Damn, I missed that. Oh, that would have been a bit of fun. Group sprint. Yeah, we've seen the prototype for that. The flies fix and the fencing, but we haven't seen it implemented. Time's ticking, we're into May already. Good point there, Michael, about running. It's too time efficient, safe to do outside, and bad weather resistance to explode on Zwift. Yeah, when I was running, if it was raining, you put a hat on and go. Whereas when you're riding, you don't want to start riding in the rain. You can finish a ride in the rain, you don't want to start. Running is one of those things that, a lot of cyclists see Zwift and go, holy shit, that is so cool. Because they're training indoors anyway. A lot of runners aren't running indoors. And the barrier to entry is still, and let's be honest, it's still a few $1,000s to get a treadmill. Over on Reddit, someone was saying the other day that, now I've got a tick. Someone on Reddit was saying that they can't believe running's not more popular as it's the cheapest way to get into Zwift. I'm not quite sure a treadmill is cheap. Or a good quality one, it's a good experience. Gotta find that squeak. Is it probably my cleats? Don't know. It's gonna play on me all day if I can't find the squeak. Yeah, the forest road. See, all the discussion here is about what we haven't got yet. And we've seen that on the internet. I think in the last 12 to 18 months, companies will leak things out, and that's what people want. They want that. They don't want what they currently got. It's, yeah, cool, thanks, but we want that. We want the next one. Less than 24 hours after the new roads came out for Zwift, people were posting about they want new roads. I shit you not. No one can be pleased. It's the age of too much information, too quickly, and companies feeding off that. I think we're getting a bit fatigued by it all. I am. I'll give you that. The IQ squared. We keep covering IQ squared because it's interesting, because it keeps pushing out and pushing out and pushing out. Where they get the free Zwift shirt from Zwift. I think this was Tour Down Under. I think I got this one this year. We're over there for a few events. Surprised Zwift haven't produced their own treadmill. Yeah. Producing software is one thing. Warehousing treadmills? Chalk and cheese. Two very, very, very different things. I don't think Zwift will ever produce hardware. They'll have to partner with someone to do hardware. They can't, like... If you're a successful software startup, moving into hardware to compete against existing hardware vendors who are successful, it's going to be really hard. DJ Hunter, thanks for the feedback there. You appreciate the channel. You tried Zwift on rollers in Jan, loved it so much you bought P1s, a Diretto after my vids and Ray's vids. Awesome. Life has never been better. Expensive year. Our apologies for your expensive year. Why haven't Zwift marketed harder for gyms? Because Zwift is built entirely around the home user as a single user right here. There's no multi-user management that's easy to administer. There's no interactivity that would work at a gym easily. You can do it, and people do it. But there's no, if you look at something like Perf Pro, which puts everyone's data up on the screen and everyone can ride together on this one big screen. Anyone can log into any one system there. It's just not built for it, to be honest. Yeah. Zwift has come from competitive cycling, which is probably most people who are watching. You've got your own bike, your own trainer, on your own time schedule. Well, you join the time schedule as listed up here for these kind of rides. I think there's just too many barriers to be in a group environment with Zwift. Again, people have done it. ErgAU, Dave Parsons over in Adelaide, does group workouts, but still, you're just converting a single user experience in reality into the virtual experience sort of as a group. It's not quite there for that. But if there was a gyms don't understand Zwift. That's a very good point, Troy. Very good point. If there was a solution where you could just unbox everything and go, rather than bringing in, your own pedals for power, your own heart rate, your own iPad or your Android device that, oh shit, it needs an update. Oh, hang on team, hang on group, wait up, Google Play Store, hit update. Oh shit, iOS update. That it gets hard. I won't sugarcoat it. This second machine I've got here is still installing a new version of Windows. So, remove all those barriers. They're the barriers that you need to focus on to remove, because you can only scale when things are easy. The doubler, how to improve your FTP from 275 to 300? That's a very good question. I can't answer. I'd need to know your training history, how long you've been training for, your response to your current training load, what time you've got, what kind of riding you want to do, what bikes you got, what equipment you got access to, how much time you got during the day, during the night, during the week. There's a lot of shit behind that. That's why coaches charge a lot of money. Ride hard and rest harder. And don't fall off. What happened to Milestone? Okay, the Zwift pod. Should we wait for a new version or keep collecting money to stride? Good point. So Zwift took the Milestone pod and produced a better firmware for it with multi-point calibration, because the Milestone pod wasn't that good at detecting speed changes or speed differentials for different paces. So they put a multi-point calibration in it, which was said to fix things. There's just not a... And that's the one thing with running being a little smaller. You don't see the chat in the groups or the troubleshooting and the feedback and the questions come through. I don't know. Yeah, Stride are an interesting one. I mean, their foot pod appears to be the most accurate foot pod. It's also expensive. You also get power, or their interpretation of running with power, which is cool, if you want to run with their interpretation of it. And what I mean by their interpretation is that every different running with power meter gives you a different result. So it's early days, or is it late days? I don't know. Is it going to take off? Esports has gone a bit quiet lately, I'll say it. We haven't seen much of that. We're told it's the next big thing. You jump over on Twitch and search for Zwift, there's not much going on. Is the Zwift step test accurate? Good question. And that could be debated for days. The Zwift step test is based on the same as the step test Slane and I had a look at a while back, which was based on papers from Hawley and Noakes and all those guys back a few years ago. You have to look at the test groups that was applied to back in the day. Typically they're 18-year-old to 36-year-old males, and you get the average out of those. So for females, for outliers, no, it's not going to be that accurate. It's close enough. It's close enough to accurate. A lot of people will debate an FTP test longer than it will take them to go out and do an hour ride. So depending on where your time wants to be done, if you want to debate it online for hours and hours, or just get on your bike and go ride for an hour hard as you can with no stops, get your FTP and be done with it. Between the lines there's just so much bitching and moaning about what's accurate and what's not. It's in regard to the step tests, that is. When it comes to power meters, you can measure those things. So I spend my time bitching and moaning about power meters that aren't accurate, because there is an answer for that. But it's close enough, Peter, is the answer. It's close enough if you were to execute it correctly. I think the step test, the calculations are based on what, 75% of the last minute cleared, whereas the paper was between 72 and 78%. So it's an estimate of an estimate. Again, it's close enough. If you want to go hardcore, jump on the Sufferfest and do the 4DP test and go from there. But it's funny, everyone's looking for a shortcut. Tell me, is it Exert who have the FTP test without even doing an FTP test? They'll estimate it based on your power data, which is totally valid. Again, it's an estimation. And that's why I steer clear of them, because they freaking hurt. Why would you need Zwift in a commercial gym out on the roads with your mates when the weather is nice, with a turbo at home with a trainer? Simples. Yeah, sure, that's a point of view. But there's a market for spin bikes. I think there's over 1 million people using the Stages spin bikes every day. Yeah, Stages make a spin bike. Oh, any update on Stages topics? There we go, good timing. No, not yet. Ball is still out in regards to Shimano right side power meters for me indoors. Stefan asks about how to combine Trainer Road and Zwift. Easy done, easy done. Well, Trainer Road is the controller, so you want to pair your Trainer Road session to your controllable trainer over Bluetooth or Ant Plus. So get that sorted first, and then secondly, you just load up Zwift after that. So have Trainer Road on your mobile or wherever, and secondly, you just put Zwift up on the screen, and all you need to pair is the power meter, Heart rate if you want that, cadence too, but don't pair the controllable trainer in Zwift if it's paired to something else. You'll cross the streams and it's all bad. So easy done. Peloton make a bike, don't they? Well, yeah, they sell it. I'm not sure whether they themselves make it. Probably be outsourced like everyone does everything. But yeah, they sell the bike. It's the entire complete solution A to Z for Peloton. You unbox that, if you have a trouble, you call Peloton. Whereas a lot of other systems, if you have trouble, you have to talk to your trainer company or your Windows 95 company or your Ant dongle company or your heart rate company or your cadence company. Maybe your bike company to see if it's compatible with the trainer. There's a lot of jigsaw pieces, whereas Peloton is just all in one. That's impressive, I've got to say. 3 minutes to go, rock and roll. That'll give us exactly 2 laps of this, cool. All right, I'll go through to the hour. Any questions, ping away. And I will go through to the hour because I'll jump off. It's nearly 7 o'clock. Bit of a clunk for nubs or noobs. I like that. Thank you, Dr. Watkins, for your message. I'll have to reply back in public with a jizz. Oh, alrighty, what have we done? 31k, it's not bad. Good to see you, Daryl, out there at the rides. Good conditions today out there. Would have been good riding. Would have been good riding. It's just cool enough so you wouldn't overheat on the bike. Any racing planned? Maybe. We'll see. Nice stuff, Nathan. Thanks for dropping by. If you could hack a Peloton bike to run Zwift, God, imagine the legal trouble that would get me in. And the financial trouble. Those bikes are is it $2.5 grand US or 2.2 installed? US, so you'd be looking at $3 Australian. Troy asks if I still have my racing license. Yes, I still renew my racing license every year with both Cycling Australia and the Vets Cycling. So always 2 licenses. Even if I'm not using them, I'm still supporting those companies or the brands or organisations is the word I'm looking for. Alright, 90 seconds left. So I don't know where that squeak is coming from. I can't get it one-legged. Oh, I hope it's not my cleat. Squeaky cleats are the worst. I'm going one leg. You see that leg's not moving. Okay, cool. Good troubleshooting session, that one. Single leg both sides, no squeaks. If I use both legs, it squeaks. Okay, I'm out of ideas. What do I think of the 4-eyed single-sided power meter? Yep, brilliant. 4-eyed podium or 4-eyed precisions, no problems at all. For the left crank versions of those. Cliffhanger squeak. The stream's going to go dark and I'll just swear a lot. I don't know where it's coming from. It goes sideways. That's the chain. Nah, don't know. That's my saddle. Wasn't me farting. Don't know. 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 7, 6. Yeah, don't worry. I won't be able to sleep until I fix the squeak. There we go. 141 watts average. That was a chill. Are we near the sprint? Can we go rip out that sprint? Yeah, let's go. Just get some sprint data. It says me saying it's going to stop in an hour. Again, if you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe. That's what all the YouTubers say. But it helps things tick along here. Do I think IQ Squared pedals are a real product we'll actually see? Insert that emoji here. We can only go with what they've said. I hope so. There's a lot of people saying it won't be. But it's easy and cheap to do that, isn't it? It's easy to say, oh, this is bullshit. It's never going to happen. No way. They're fraudsters. It's easy to say that because there's no ramifications. Because if they do bring out a pedal, it's like, oh, okay. But if, as I said, the alternative would be to have no power meter at all, or to have an inaccurate power meter. So I'd go with whatever they can deliver. I really would. If you're a Speedplay user or a Shimano pedal user, yeah, it's a problem. But grab the pedals, sell them on. If they do bring out a pedal that rivals the Favero Asioma, you've got yourself a $1,000 power meter for a quarter of the price, a third of the price. Pretty good deal. Have I considered Patreon? I have. When Patreon becomes easy enough that I can explain to my mum what it is and why people have to click onto another website for me to provide value here that I'm already providing and not make it all confusing. YouTube memberships is what I'm after. Much easier to convince people that to support a YouTube channel to sign up on YouTube than a third party. Patreon, I reckon probably 10% of people would have heard of it. The other 90, probably not. Oh! Chain came off on the big side. I'll try that again. Sorry, this is a live stream. You will get unfiltered Lama. Join me for the ride. Yeah, Squeak's gone. That was nuts. I was already in the gear and it threw it off the big ring. What's with that? All right. That was bizarre. Crap data though. Alright, try it again. I don't want to headbutt this table. That was weird. Why did that come off? That's probably why. Shit! Oh, that's all I got now. Smells like fish. Oh, I could have even got it 10 seconds then. Oh, no go. All right. 35 Ks, I'm out. Oh, all right, thanks for dropping by. Putting up with me almost snapping a chain off there. That may have wreaked a bit of havoc with a giant power meter pod. But still reading, we'll give it that. Sorry for personal questions coming through on the stream. I can't answer those ones live. Alrighty. Does feel like a black bibs. That was funny, it didn't come off during the... If that had been down on the full pedal stroke on one of the sides, I would have totally nutted myself on something here. That's crazy. I haven't had that happen for a long time. Usually I'd throw a cleat, throw a foot out or something. That chain just snaps straight off. The rings look pretty straight still. Pretty, lol. We'll soon find out. Drops the power up now though, where it counts. Oh, that was eventful. Not quite the sprint I wanted though. I needed a few more seconds, but we'll have a look at how that all compares in sim mode. Cool. You're right though. The squeak's gone. Oh, it's there a little bit. Stages left, right data from outside. Oh god, I can't recall. I've had a ton of power meters on the bike. The data's with stages for that. I think it was alright. Actually, the stages left, right video is up. I've done that one. Typically I say the Shimano crank right side okay outside. It's just inside. In the artificial erg mode where it stuffs up. For Shimano cranks. Whew. Okay, 36 Ks. I'm on the wrong side of 36 Ks, aren't I? Come on. Whew. Alright, everyone have a good weekend wherever you're from. Hopefully the weather's good. It's definitely much better weather. I've seen following everyone on Instagram and posts online. That's good to see everyone out and about on their bikes. And it's still changing okay, so the bike isn't too hurt. And I think it's the last stage. What's today? Is the 5th last stage. Is the Tour of Romandy and the Tour of Yorkshire. Is that on tonight? So we'll check those out. Come on, down the hill, 200 meters down the hill. Let's do it. There we go. Oh, rock and roll. All right, we'll leave it there. 36K is done, just over an hour. I didn't check out the new, oh, it's up here. I was going to say the new course. I was going to do the reverse of that, but I could keep riding all day. I got to go, or else I'll be here all day. I'm going to go have a look at this data. I'll check out what damage I've done to that chainring, and yeah, check back in. We'll see how we've gone. Have a good weekend, everyone, and thanks for dropping by.